Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel that will free your future. And in this video, I'm going to be continuing with you in our Summer Intensive 2022 program. And we'll be talking about budgeting, how to do it, why it's important, and the software that I personally use to make it a lot more user-friendly, streamlined, and keep my budget on me when I go shopping. I would like to mention that this budgeting video is going to be specifically for summer. In our previous session, which if you haven't checked it out, you can go ahead and click on the link somewhere here to get up to speed. But yeah, we'll be, so last session, we talked about what your top priority should be. Your top priority should be either getting cash and earning money or getting clear. And if you applied the principles in those videos that I shared, you are going to be getting your paychecks. You're going to be collecting this money, right? Well, then what? What do you do then? That's where budgeting comes in. Now, I know budgeting for some people is restrictive, but I'm going to show you how amazingly carefree a budget can be. Okay, so what is budgeting? Is it a spending plan? Is it a way to restrict your spending? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Dave Ramsey, which if you haven't checked out his stuff, I would highly recommend that as well. Some real solid advice there about going to college debt-free and just personal finance in general. I've learned a lot from him. And he once said that your budget before the month begins is not your boss. You are the boss of it. But after the month begins, this is key. The budget becomes your boss, and you submit to the budget so that you can target what your goals are and you can focus, right? And before the month, you can say, oh, well, hey, I want $100 for fun money and put $20 for food. You know, you can do that before the month. But after you've written your budget, it's like a constitution. You sign and that's it. And stick to it. It kind of goes into like as far as the philosophy of a budget that I really have, it's a way for me to keep my goals ahead of myself instead of having my goals become like an afterthought. You know, I'm intentional. Whenever I'm about to go make a purchase, I check my budget and say, oh, okay, do I have enough funds? Or an even better question is, can I make the purchase this month according to what I chose to submit to at the beginning of the month or before it began when I wrote the budget? So that's basically what a budget is. It's simply a spending plan, not some sort of spending history, okay? Although some people use it for that, but it really needs to be a plan. It's a spending plan. And when I struggled for a long time with the idea, oh man, I am using this as a tracking system, and since there are so many receipts to check on and balancing the checkbook and doing a budget, I lump them all into one task, which if you're doing that, I would encourage you to stop and break them apart, okay? You can do your budget, that's one task. You can balance the checkbook, that's another task. One is before the month begins, you are saying, all right, I anticipate, okay? Reality could hit and something could go not the way you expected, okay? Surprises happen. That's just life. But as you do your budget from month to month, those surprises become less and less and less frequent. Why? Because you'd start to expect surprises. You'll put a miscellaneous category, which we'll look at later in the video when I do a walkthrough with you of just doing a simple budget. Have a miscellaneous category because you'll anticipate the surprises. Which, would that make them surprises? Huh. I'll let you decide. But yeah, so why is budgeting important? Many times people are spending money without realizing it, okay? And you might think, oh, Jeff, come on. Of course we know what we're doing when we go and swipe the card at Walmart or, hit pay now at from Amazon, like those one-click purchases. Well, they're so fast, it's easily forgotten. That's the thing. And with budgeting, at least with the software I use, there's a way to track your expenses or your spending, but that's not for balancing the checkbook. Instead, those records are to show you like a progress in your budget. It's like this, and we'll get into this later, but when you submit to the plan, like we were talking about before, there's something that changes in your behavior. Your behavior becomes more intentional, right? You start to think about things twice. You're less impulsive because you recognize that, hey, there's an extra step in this purchase. If you spend responsibly, you're going to end up having a lot more freedom. Why? Because you can spend your money carefree. It's like this. Rachel Cruz, which if you haven't checked out her YouTube channel, I would highly recommend it. She's got some serious hacks on like how to like squeeze like this budget thing. She's a lot more knowledgeable than I am, so I'm perfectly fine with redirecting you to her. But nonetheless, a budget is important because it allows you to save money, to hold yourself back from that absent-minded spending. And when you do submit to the plan, submit to your budget, which you've developed in a calm, stress-free environment where you can think clearly. You're not in the middle of the month. You're not being reactionary. Instead, you are taking a step back, looking at your goals, and devising an effective plan, a particular plan for that specific time, that month, to accomplish those goals. Now, I use Everydollar. There are a ton of apps out there. I know people that use, what is it? YNAB? YNAB? I think so. It's an acronym that stands for You Need a Budget. Some people use that app. Others simply use Microsoft Excel. I personally use Excel for my engineering homework and things like that. But for budgeting, I don't think it's as, I don't know, it's not as efficient. All right? It's powerful, yes, but it's not as streamlined or user-friendly. So I like Everydollar. So now, let me say exactly like how I use it. I use Everydollar as like my budgeting tool. And the great thing about it is you can access it online, which I'm going to demonstrate for you in just a minute. But you also have it on your smartphone. So you can have it on your phone and you can access your budget, look at the different categories, and you can see they're at the grocery store or they're at the movie theater, or wherever you happen to be, all right? Any place where you're about to spend money, hey, you can access Everydollar. Now, if you don't have access to internet, that's a big damper on it. It may or may not work with Wi-Fi. I don't quite know, but you certainly can't update it without Wi-Fi. So perhaps that's a downside. With Excel, you can use it with or without Wi-Fi, and it's perfectly fine. You can update it as you want. So now I would like to take you to my screen here, and yeah, we're going to just open our browser, and oh, here I have a shortcut, but I'm just going to type in Everydollar, or you can go ahead and click the link in the description, and you'll go over to Ramsey Solutions, which is Dave Ramsey's company, by the way, if you didn't know. Yeah, so it's loading, signing in. All right, so after you've signed up for Everydollar, which it's free, by the way, although there is a paid version where you can connect your bank account and have your budget update and tell you, okay, you have this much money left in a category to spend before the end of the month. So, which I enjoy that feature. There are also a lot of features on the sidebar here. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, there's like insights, there's baby steps, which has to do with Dave Ramsey's baby steps. If you're not familiar with that, I'll put a link in the description. You can check it out. That's the general plan I'm following personally. And then you have some financial counselors, coaches, a community where you can ask questions. Oh, and this is a feature for the paid version. You click this link and it takes you to the Ramsey Plus page, where it's got all sorts of courses on financial literacy and how to budget, how to save for college, and money habits. Like it's so good, and it's got some different questions like calls of the day. You can select on different topics. But anyway, that's a tangent. Right now, we're focused on the budget. So for the free version, all right, you can do pretty much all of the stuff we're going to be covering in this video. I might make a later video which expands on this one, but let's get started. So first thing with Everydollar is up here you have your month tab. If you click on that, you can select which month you want to make the budget for. So you can make a budget 2 months, 3 months in advance. But I don't recommend it because you have the best estimates the month right before another month begins. And so for July, we're going to make a budget, and it starts out with our income. And to make an effective budget, your income and your expenses need to balance out. They need to net as zero. That was a bad zero. Oh, okay, there you go. But here we have our paycheck. Let's say we earn $2,000, or think that we are going to earn $2,000 in July because our hours are going to be the same. And let's say in June, in this month, we earned $2,000. So we have every reason to expect that it's $2,000. Now, you're going to notice that there are all these different categories which are preloaded. So you're going to see like health, insurance, debt, transportation. And so you have all these different ones with categories. Now you don't have to use these categories. In fact, I'm going to show you how to delete and add different categories. So let's go down here to childcare. I mean, I don't have a child. I don't even need that category. So all you have to do is click on the name, and this trash can icon pops up. You can delete that category. Or alternatively, you can rename a category. So for instance, instead of hair and cosmetics, I could just put, I don't know, I could put cleaning supplies, okay? And it will update it. Now, another thing is I'm going to start with what Ramsey calls the 4 walls, which are like the basic essentials. They're your housing, the roof over your head, the clothes on your back, your food, and your transportation. Because if you don't have one of those 4, you're not going to be able to make more money, right? Like, you gotta wear clothes to go to work. You gotta, like, have a roof over your head. Otherwise, you're going to be like, that's the definition of a homeless person, right? And if you don't have transportation, well, that's an issue. You're going to have to find some way to get to work, right? So anyway, taking care of those first. However, as a Christian, I believe in giving God the first 10% of what I make. So in this example, what I would do is I would add an item and I would just do church tithe, okay? And I would have it as 10%, and there we go. So that's our giving category, and you'll notice that this summary here has a nice little graphic and shows 10%. Wonderful. Saving, we're going to come back to this, but we can add an item here. We already know that we're going to be saving up for college, so we can put college fund here. All right. And again, we'll come back to that after our basic needs are met, our essentials. So we have here clothing. Okay. Clothing. I don't expect this month to be buying any clothes. I'm going to leave that blank. So we come to housing, and let's say you have $400 rent per month. Okay. And that covers your water, covers your natural gas, covers electricity, covers your cable. Well, actually, you can cut out cable because, I mean, there are better ways. There are better ways. And now for groceries, okay, let's say, I know for July, there's 4th of July, there's also, your own spending routine. $100, let's say. $100 for the month. Actually, no. Let's be realistic. It's going to be 200, all right? We're college students. And for me, I mean, I'm not going to be going to restaurants, really. And if I do, that's probably going to be coming out of my fund money, because right now we are focusing on our top priority, right? From our last video, we are focusing on getting as much cash as possible. And so for this example, I'm just going to keep that at 0 and recognize that, hey, we're getting stuff as cheap as possible. while still meeting our needs. And then this miscellaneous category, you don't want to miss it. You want to make sure to have some money in that so that you have a buffer, right? You're not, it's like expecting the unexpected and making it no longer unexpected. Anyway, that's a conundrum for me. And this would include, like, if you wanted to go to a restaurant with like friends, like maybe one time that month, it would come out of this, or anything that you would anything that doesn't have a category already. And I don't expect to pay any doctor's visits or medicine or vitamins. The gym is free where I am, and so, but of course you might put stuff down there. I mean, could be $10 here. Your insurance, I don't know what one you have, but let's just put that down. Let's say $75. Homeowner, renter. So, got our insurance, got our debts, and I personally don't have any debt, but I know a lot of you watching this would love to have a way to stay encouraged. And I think this is it. With Everydollar, you can have your debts listed out. So let's go ahead and try this. So, well, that's odd. I guess I can't set this debt starting balance. That's odd. Okay, well, if you're an Everydollar, I guess, programmer and you watch this, maybe fix that. Because you should be able to set this starting balance, and then you could say how much you've paid this month and how much your minimum payment is, and it'll automatically compute your current balance with that. Transportation, I don't have a car, but I do have a bike. And so I'm going to want to put some money to the maintenance of my bike. So I'm going to put $50 there. And now we come to an important topic, which is funds. Let's say you want to save up for a big purchase, okay? You really want to create a sinking fund in Everydollar. And so how do you do that? Well, you go over here, you click on the category's name, and here you'll have an option to create a fund. Funds help you save for expenses. And you have this nice link here that tells you about how they work, how to make funds grow. Basically, every one of these categories is not going to carry over to the next month. However, if you make them a fund, like we are for my bike maintenance, I'm going to make this bike maintenance to clarify. And if I make this a fund, check this out. Goal amount. Let's say I want $200 for maintenance, just in case something goes wrong with my bike. I want to be able to fix it right away. Oh, no jumping ahead. What? You can only update balance for current month? Okay. So apparently this trash can symbol is still there, but I know that some people, after they create a fund, they'll the trash can will go away and you can't delete it anymore. If that happens, you're going to want to click on this this name tag, and you want to delete the group. Now, I'm not going to do that, but that's how you would get rid of a fund. I know it's a hassle. That's a quirk of Everydollar. You can't just delete funds just like that. But anyway, so now we look at up here. We have $865 left to go toward our college fund. Now that seems awfully low to me if I were seriously trying to save up for college. So I might look around and say, okay, how could I save money? So the rent is what it is. I might be looking for look for a better place to live. I am going to cut this down some to 140. That frees up an extra $60. And I maybe might say, oh, okay, I don't need those vitamins right now. I have some left that I could finish off that month. And auto insurance, yeah, if it is what it is. And then bike maintenance, well, that I could probably taper down to more like $15 or $20 for whatever happens that month, given that my fund doesn't have like a starting balance. Normally, you'd have the balance from the next month carry over, and that would be, that'd give you some wiggle room, and you'd be able to see in remaining or spent. So I spent nothing, and we have $20 remaining in the budget. That says, okay, we have $20 remaining for me to use for bike maintenance in the month. And that just freed up $100. And so let's put that to our savings goal. And if you've got debt payments to make, go ahead and enter those in too, and try and focus on getting that debt down and like cash flowing college. So those would be your two goals. And there we have pretty much $1,000 going toward our college fund that month. And so that's the basics of using Everydollar for the summer. If you have questions, which I'm sure you do, please post them in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best I can. And who knows, I might, well, I know I need to make another video just to clarify some of how my budget changes when the school year starts. And so we'll be talking about that a little bit. But thank you everyone for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'm very excited for what you're going to do this summer, and I hope you'll join me for the next summer intensive video. Thanks guys.